So an end user buying from a print house will find it cheaper to buy a screen than a poster if they're changing the content once a month. The upfront costs of the screen and the power costs of that screen over 3 to 5 years will be outweighed by the cost of the print itself, the delivery, the disposal, and the staff time to deal with it. So a print supplier can offer a better product at a cheaper price with a much lower variable cost. We're working with a company in the UK who has been putting screens into the front windows of their retail clients. And what they found is their wide format print has dropped, but their small format print has risen because people are taking the leaflets that they're printing because they're seeing the advert on the screen, it's more engaging because it's animated, and they're now taking that leaflet and causing reprints. That print shop is still getting the content creation business, but now they're delivering it more cheaply and seeing an uplift in the rest of their business. So digital signage content can just be a poster, but you can get a much better recollection of that message if you animate parts of it. And the pieces you animate are the pieces that people remember. So we did an experiment with O2 in the UK about 10 years ago, and we animated the background, and then we animated the text. When we animated the background and asked people what they could remember the animated background, but they couldn't tell you what the product was. When we animated the text and the price, they could remember the product and remember how much it was on sale for. So the more you can animate, the better, but you can go too far. If you build just a full TV-style advert, that's not going to work. But something that's, if you think of it as poster plus rather than TV minus, then you'll get a good result. So if you're a print house looking to get into digital signage, the first question is going to be what your business model is going to be. Do you want to supply hardware as a sale and then sell content onto that system? Or would you prefer to lease the system to your client and potentially lease the hardware from somebody else? You may want to partner with a hardware and software supply company and just deal with the content side of things. If you're going to support the hardware and software yourself, you're going to need to look at what your IT team is capable of doing, because you'll need to be working with WANs and LANs. You'll need to be getting data onto that screen and keeping it online, because the customer will want you to deploy to it potentially at quite short notice. So you need to look at your content production process and how that will change. You need to look at your support process and how that will change. And you need to look at your business practice and how your terms and conditions and your revenue streams are going to change. Interactive content has to be there for a reason. The customer has to have a good reason to come and interact with it. And they have to take something away from that. Otherwise, they will never use it again. They will never recommend it to their friends. You will get people just drifting away from it. Dave Haynes in the US calls it stupid people tricks. You've got to engage them, give them something, allow them to use it, treat it as a tool. So if you're a retailer and you have a small store, you may have a very large range of online product, but you can't represent all of that product in the store. You could use interactivity to bring your online environment into the store and allow people to browse around. So Marks & Spencer in the UK, for example, will have all the sizes of their dresses, but only in one colour. And then there's a sample of material from each of the other colours. So you can browse on the screen or using RFID tags on the materials to try on the dress, see if it fits, and then pick the colour you like and have that delivered to you tomorrow. So interaction in those ways can be very powerful. Interaction with no meaning just becomes a gimmick, and it'll last a month or two and your money will be wasted.